Azure Governance is a set of tools and services designed to help organizations manage their resources effectively and ensure compliance with regulatory requirements. It provides a framework for maintaining control over your Azure environment, ensuring that resources are used efficiently, securely, and in accordance with organizational policies. This introduction will explore the key features and tools available in Azure for governance and compliance, setting the stage for a deeper dive into each aspect. Governance in Azure is crucial for maintaining control over your cloud environment. It helps organizations ensure that their resources are used efficiently, securely, and in compliance with regulatory requirements. Effective governance can prevent unauthorized access, reduce costs, and ensure that resources are allocated appropriately. By implementing governance policies, organizations can achieve better visibility, control, and compliance, ultimately leading to a more secure and efficient cloud environment. Azure Policy is a service in Azure that allows you to create, assign, and manage policies that enforce rules and effects over your resources. These policies help ensure that resources are compliant with your corporate standards and service level agreements. For example, you can create a policy to ensure that all resources are tagged with specific metadata or to restrict the deployment of certain types of resources. Azure Policy provides a centralized way to manage and enforce compliance across your Azure environment. Creating and assigning policies in Azure is a straightforward process. You start by defining a policy definition, which specifies the conditions under which the policy is enforced and the actions to take when those conditions are met. Once the policy definition is created, you can assign it to a specific scope, such as a subscription, resource group, or individual resource. Azure Policy then evaluates resources within the scope to ensure compliance and provides detailed reports on policy adherence. Azure Blueprints enable you to define a repeatable set of Azure resources that implement and adhere to your organization's standards, patterns, and requirements. Blueprints are particularly useful for deploying and managing environments that need to comply with specific regulatory requirements. They allow you to package together artifacts such as role assignments, policy assignments, Azure Resource Manager templates, and resource groups. This ensures that your deployments are consistent and compliant with organizational policies. Implementing Azure Blueprints involves creating a blueprint definition, which includes the artifacts that need to be deployed. Once the blueprint is defined, it can be assigned to a subscription or management group. Azure Blueprints then deploys the specified resources and configurations, ensuring that they comply with the defined standards and policies. This process helps maintain consistency and compliance across your Azure environments, making it easier to manage and govern your resources. Role-based access control, RBAC in Azure, is a system that provides fine-grained access management for Azure resources. RBAC allows you to assign roles to users, groups, and applications, granting them specific permissions to perform actions on Azure resources. This helps ensure that only authorized users have access to sensitive data and critical resources. RBAC is essential for maintaining security and compliance, as it allows you to enforce the principle of least privilege and reduce the risk of unauthorized access. Defining and assigning roles in Azure RBAC involves creating role definitions that specify the permissions associated with each role. These roles can then be assigned to users, groups, or applications at various scopes, such as a subscription, resource group, or individual resource. Azure provides several built-in roles, such as owner, contributor, and reader, but you can also create custom roles to meet specific requirements. By carefully defining and assigning roles, you can ensure that users have the appropriate level of access to perform their tasks while maintaining security and compliance. Azure Resource Manager, ARM, is the deployment and management service for Azure. It provides a consistent management layer that enables you to create, update, and delete resources in your Azure account. ARM allows you to manage your infrastructure through declarative templates, which define the resources and configurations needed for your applications. This approach ensures that your deployments are consistent and repeatable, making it easier to manage and govern your Azure resources. Using ARM templates involves defining the infrastructure and configuration for your Azure resources in a JSON file. These templates can be used to deploy resources consistently and repeatedly, ensuring that your environments are compliant with organizational policies. ARM templates support parameters, variables, and functions, allowing you to create flexible and reusable templates. By using ARM templates, you can automate the deployment and management of your Azure resources, reducing the risk of configuration drift and ensuring compliance with governance policies. Azure Cost Management and Billing is a suite of tools that helps organizations monitor, allocate, and optimize their cloud spending. It provides detailed insights into your Azure usage and costs, allowing you to identify areas where you can reduce spending and improve efficiency. With features like cost analysis, budgeting, and cost allocation, Azure Cost Management and Billing enables you to maintain financial control over your Azure environment and ensure that your resources are used cost-effectively. Monitoring and reporting costs in Azure involves using tools like Azure Cost Management and Billing to track your cloud spending. These tools provide detailed reports on your usage and costs, allowing you to identify trends and areas for optimization. You can set up budgets and alerts to monitor your spending and receive notifications when you approach or exceed your budget limits. By regularly monitoring and reporting costs, you can ensure that your Azure environment remains cost-effective and aligned with your financial goals. Azure Security Center is a unified infrastructure security management system that strengthens the security posture of your data centers and provides advanced threat protection across your hybrid workloads. It offers tools for assessing your security posture, protecting against threats, and responding to security incidents. Azure Security Center integrates with other Azure services to provide a comprehensive security solution, helping you maintain compliance with regulatory requirements and protect your resources from cyber threats. Assessing your security posture in Azure involves using Azure Security Center to identify vulnerabilities and misconfigurations in your environment. Security Center provides a secure score that reflects your current security posture and offers recommendations for improvement. By regularly assessing your security posture, you can identify and address potential risks, ensuring that your Azure environment remains secure and compliant with organizational policies and regulatory requirements. Azure Compliance Manager is a workflow-based risk assessment tool that helps organizations manage compliance with various regulatory standards. It provides a dashboard that tracks your compliance status and offers actionable insights to help you meet regulatory requirements. Compliance Manager includes built-in assessments for common standards such as GDPR, ISO 27001, and HIPAA, making it easier to manage compliance across your Azure environment. Managing compliance with assessments in Azure involves using Azure Compliance Manager to track your compliance status and identify areas for improvement. Compliance Manager provides detailed assessments for various regulatory standards, offering recommendations and guidance to help you achieve compliance. By regularly reviewing and updating your compliance assessments, you can ensure that your Azure environment remains aligned with regulatory requirements and organizational policies. Azure Monitor is a comprehensive monitoring service that provides full-stack monitoring for your applications and infrastructure. It collects and analyzes telemetry data from your Azure resources, offering insights into the performance and health of your environment. Azure Monitor includes features like metrics, logs, and alerts, enabling you to proactively identify and address issues before they impact your users. By using Azure Monitor, you can ensure that your Azure environment remains reliable, performant, and compliant with organizational policies. Setting up alerts and actions in Azure Monitor involves defining conditions that trigger alerts based on specific metrics or log data. When an alert is triggered, you can configure actions such as sending notifications, running automation scripts, or creating support tickets. This proactive approach helps you address issues quickly and maintain the health and performance of your Azure environment. By setting up alerts and actions, you can ensure that your resources remain compliant with organizational policies and service-level agreements. Azure Advisor is a personalized cloud consultant that provides best practices and recommendations to help you optimize your Azure deployments. It analyzes your resource configurations and usage telemetry, offering insights into cost optimization, security, performance, and operational excellence. Azure Advisor helps you identify opportunities for improvement and provides actionable recommendations to enhance the efficiency and compliance of your Azure environment. Implementing Azure Advisor recommendations involves reviewing the insights provided by Advisor and taking action to address the identified issues. Advisor offers recommendations in areas such as cost optimization, security, performance, and operational excellence. By following these recommendations, you can improve the efficiency, security, and compliance of your Azure environment. Regularly reviewing and implementing Advisor recommendations helps ensure that your resources are used effectively and in accordance with best practices. In conclusion, Azure offers a comprehensive set of tools and services for governance and compliance, helping organizations manage their resources effectively and ensure adherence to regulatory requirements. By leveraging features like Azure Policy, Blueprints, RBAC, ARM, Cost Management, Security Center, Compliance Manager, Monitor, and Advisor, you can maintain control over your Azure environment and achieve better visibility, security, and efficiency. Implementing best practices for governance and compliance ensures that your resources are used responsibly and in alignment with organizational goals.